Hello Enchanted ones, welcome back to another video. Today I will be showing you how I decorated my dining room to become this Halloween dark forest fantasy with a few simple DIYs. The ideas are so simple, cheap, and of course inspired by nature. Before we begin, I'd just like to thank you if you are a new subscriber to my channel. I really appreciate your support and your comments have been simply overwhelming. If you are new, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and keep on watching. As most of you know, my home is situated here in the Enchanted Wood, and this week I wanted to gain October and Halloween inspiration to make over my dining room, as I have planned a Halloween tea party for next week. I have been spending a lot of time in the wood recently and have been particularly inspired by this place, which I named Cozy Corner. I love how the trees are close here. It's full of winding vines, and autumn has given it this colourful woodland floor. I gathered a few things here and left with the intention of I wanted to bring this place into my home. So let's get started. The first thing I wanted to recreate were the winding vines growing up the tree trunks, and I wanted to mimic this on my dining room table. I started by wrapping each leg in card to protect them. To make the vines, I used wire. I cut out 4 pieces that were half the length higher than the height of the table and twisted all 4 of these together. I then repeated this process 4 times. I then wrapped these around the legs, intertwining them with each other, but also creating a root effect at the bottom and the top of the table. I then sellotaped them at the top and the bottom. Next, I used plaster of Paris to create the shape of the vines. I cut out small sheets and dipped them in water to activate. I wanted some of the vines to look attached to the leg, so I plastered some sheets straight on top of the wire. But in other places, I wrapped the plaster around the wire to give the effect the vine was hanging off. After this was complete, I began to paint it. I wanted the legs to be the tree trunks, so I painted this a similar colour to my flooring, adding some lighter and darker tones to mimic bark. I then painted the vines black, and the result was outstanding. Along with the legs, I made this table decoration using the same method, but I intertwined the wire around a glass and then took the glass out once it was dry. In this, I put the sticks I gathered in the forest. I tied them together with wire, and then I used the leaves I found on the forest floor and nestled these in between the branches beautifully. I then simply changed a few things to make the room feel darker and cozier, like the curtains and the leaves on the stick tree. I also added a few Halloween decorations and couldn't help but be inspired by this golden pumpkin candle. It brought a sense of elegance and it made me want to create more. So I created my own pumpkin tree decorations. I rolled out a ball of clay. I then scored it 6 times with a pair of scissors, or you could use a blunt kitchen knife. I then squashed this in the middle. cut out a medium length of wire and twisted the ends to form a loop. Pierce this through the middle. Then with pliers, I bent the end of the wire so it wouldn't fall out. Then rolled out a long, thin piece of clay in which I simply wrapped around the wire 3/4 of the way. And I made it more little pumpkin friends to go with it. After these dried, I painted them. I painted the pumpkins gold and the stem dark green. I loved the idea the gold would stand out majestically against the black. I then added a few extra details and I was complete. Now I have a dining room set for Halloween or a Samhain feast. However, I was surprised that it didn't look as extra as I thought it would look, so I changed that. Thank you so much for watching, Enchanted Ones, and please let me know in the comments what your favourite decoration was, and also see if you can guess what the next Enchanted video will be about. All my love, Alwyn.